Hello everyone, welcome to Kerala PSC HSA English classes. This is class 31. Today the class is on Samuel Beckett's play Waiting for Godot. Samuel Beckett is an Irish writer. He wrote both in French and English. He is famous for his works Waiting for Godot, Endgame, Happy Days, Breath, Not I, Play, Crab's Last Tape, Footfalls, etc. He's a winner of Nobel Prize for Literature in 1969. He's often associated with theatre of the absurd. And his career is divided into two phases, before and after Waiting for Godot. During the first phase, he is little known. There is less quality of creative output from him, and during the second phase there is a more distilled style in his plays and prose, and there is a complex mix of self-quotation, self-reflection, and even self-parody. So coming to the play Waiting for Godot, it's an absurd play. It's a very successful experimental play which was written in 1952. Actually, nothing happens in the play. There is no beginning, there is no end, but it is intensely theatrical. There are no female characters and many funny dialogues, but they are not serious. But the subject matter is serious under the farcical surface. It's about human condition. And the characters of this plays are, there are two tramps, Vladimir and Astragon, then Poso, a local landowner, his slave Lucky, and a boy who acts as the messenger of Godot. Godot is an unspecified person. Godot may refer to God, or it might be an oblique reference to a character named Godot from Balzac's comedy La Fissure, who strongly influenced the action but never appears on stage. The play is not about Godot, who he is or whether he will ever come, but the play is about waiting, about what people do while they wait. The themes of this play are uncertainty of time, folly of seeking meaning, purposelessness of life, absurdity of life. See, here the tramps are aware that existence is not to be taken for granted, and they must constantly do something to prove their existence. So their act of waiting itself is a manifestation of their attempt to prove at least to themselves that they do exist. So waiting gives them a sense of security. So Godot is a mysterious person. We can interpret in many ways, in various ways. So we can see him as a very weakened form of the word God, or as a mythical human being whose arrival will bring changes in the situation, especially for these two tramps, because for them Godot is a hope for peace and rest. Actually Godot is an empty promise in a meaningless life, very ambiguous character. It can also relate to death or silence. So the play has no traditional division into scenes. It consists of two acts only. The characters are few, and there is neither hero nor story. So the scene is a country road with a lone tree in the middle. So before this tree, two tramps, Vladimir and Astragon, They talk to each other, they perform various restricted movements while waiting for the arrival of Mr. Godot, with whom they have an appointment in this desolate place. So they are on the stage for entire 2 acts of a play, which runs for about 1.5 hours. And in both the acts, you can see Poso, a seedy landowner, accompanied by his slave Lucky, and a messenger boy or boys who tells them each time that Godot will not come this evening, but surely tomorrow. They consider hanging themselves. The two tramps. Sometimes they feel they should jump from a tower and kill themselves, and at other times they want to hang themselves. But their only rope is a piece of cord which holds up Astragon's trousers, and it is not strong enough. So at the final curtain, they stand facing the audience, uttering the words, "Let's go." But in fact, they remain motionless. So everything seems absurd. Nothing happens. Nobody comes, nobody goes. It's awful. The subtitle of the play is A Tragic Comedy in 2 Acts, and it was performed in 1953. Okay, now I will explain what happens in both acts in detail. So in Act 1, the play opens with two men, Vladimir and Astragon, meeting by a lifeless tree, a willow tree. Astragon tells Vladimir about his recent troubles. He spent the previous night in a ditch and received a beating from a number of anonymous people. And both of them discuss variety of issues. And all these issues are not serious. And it is revealed that from their conversation that they are waiting for a man named Godot. And they are not certain if they have ever met Godot or if he will even arrive. Then Poso and Lucky comes. They are in a journey and they stops at the place where Vladimir and Astragon appears. And Poso have a conversation with these men. Lucky, who is a slave of Poso, is tied by a rope held by Poso, and Poso forces Lucky to carry his heavy bags and also physically punish him if he moves in a very lazy manner, in a very lethargic manner. And Poso tells that he is on the way to the market and he intends to sell Lucky, his slave, for profit. And Poso then commands, "Think." Then Lucy performs a dance which is known as the net dance. A sudden monologue with sounds such as quaw quaw, quaw quaw, and Lucky's speech seems to be very absurd, which tells or which refers to the themes of the play itself, which I have already told you. So Poso and Lucky soon they depart, leaving Astragon and Vladimir to continue their wait for Godot. Soon a boy arrives and explains to them that he is a messenger from Godot and tells that he will not be arriving tonight but tomorrow. Then Vladimir asks about Godot and the boy exits. Vladimir and Astragon decide that they will also leave, but they remain there as the curtain falls. And in Act 2, it is the next day. Vladimir and Astragon are again waiting near the tree. But now the tree has grown a number of leaves. And it indicates that a certain amount of time has passed. So both men are still waiting for Godot. Lucky and Pozo, they reappear, but not as we saw in Act 1. Now Pozo has become blind and Lucky has become dumb. So Pozo can't recall having met Vladimir and Estragon the previous night. Lucky and Pozo exit shortly after their encounter, leaving Vladimir and Estragon go on waiting for Godot. Soon after, the boy reappears to report that Godot will not be coming. The boy claims that he didn't talk to Vladimir yesterday, which causes Vladimir a great deal. He is very much frustrated and tells the boy that the boy should remember him the next day, so as to avoid the scene as a first encounter. And the boy exits. Then Vladimir and Estragon they think about committing suicide, but they don't have a rope. And they decide to leave and return the day after with a rope. But again they remain there and the curtain falls. So it's a continuous process. They are waiting for Godot and Godot is not arriving. So the play shows the absurdity of man's existence in this universe. So that's all about the play. In the next class, we will deal with some questions relating to this play. Module 7, Basic Grammar, Prepositions. Today, let's see some of the uses of the common prepositions. So the first preposition we are going to discuss is at. At is used for indicating a certain point of time, and also it is used before names of festivals, villages and small towns. For example, at 7 o'clock, at Christmas, at Madras, etc. Next preposition, in. In is used to denote a period of time and also used with seasons, years, months, countries, towns, etc. In the afternoon, in summer, in August, in China, etc. Next preposition we are going to discuss about is on. On is used for indicating a specific day, on Sunday afternoon, on August 15, on his birthday, etc. On is also used to indicate the position of things. For example, on the tree, on the table, on the field, etc. Next preposition is by. By is used to signify the latest time by which something is to be done, indicating the future tense. I will finish the work by Sunday. She will probably arrive by 9 o'clock. By is also used to refer some person or mode of travel. By Rama, by the road, I travel by train, etc. Next, from. It is used to denote the beginning of an action in the past or future, most often used with to or till. From morning till evening. From is also used to indicate the origin of something, or you get something from this place or that place. For example, he bought a television from the shop. Another case is when we use from is he has recovered from his illness. He prevents me from going there. So that's all for today. We'll be discussing the uses of more prepositions in the coming classes. Thank you.